Mega Millions is going to go through some huge changes in 2025. At least that's what's sort of confirmed, but not really. Anyway, all the things that we're going to cover in this video about the supposed upcoming changes to Mega Millions has not yet been confirmed by the Mega Millions Consortium. You can't find a press release or announcement at this point anywhere on the Mega Millions official website. However, there was one state lottery who did kind of announce it. They kind of confirmed it, although it's not totally confirmed from the highest level up. So we've still felt that it was pretty necessary to cover these changes because although it's not totally confirmed by the highest level of authority, which is the Mega Millions game itself or the consortium, which are the states that administer the game, we still felt that it was really necessary to cover it because these changes sound like they're seriously going to happen based on one source, which is an official state lottery. Yesterday, we spent a huge chunk of the day contacting lottery after lottery, trying to get some kind of confirmation from a second source, but we were unable to get in touch with anybody, or at least whenever we would get in touch with someone, they would direct us to the Mega Millions game. At the time that we posted this news story yesterday evening, we had just received a comment from the Mega Millions game group itself. This statement from the official Mega Millions media department told us, "We're always looking for fun and exciting opportunities for players. We don't have anything to report today. We'll certainly keep you updated if and when any changes are made." So really, the official statement is that there are no changes, but we do know that there are changes currently being reviewed and discussed for possible approval and likely approval in a very small, quiet commission meeting that was made public on the Montana Lottery's YouTube channel. In this quiet, unassuming Montana Lottery Commission meeting, you might have missed a humongous change, but they revealed something huge. The first change that's slated to come in 2025 to Mega Millions is one that people are not going to be too happy with. It's going to be a ticket price increase from $2 to $5, and while your wallets might be crying out in pain or hurting, there are some positive changes that are possibly coming to the game to compensate for that. Back in 2022, Lottery Post had actually sat down in a virtual interview with the former lead director of the Mega Millions game, Pat McDonald, who actually talked about a possible price increase.
And some of the changes that we are discussing is price point, potentially moving from a $2 ticket to a $5 level ticket. A no change is also a decision, even though we've been working on this for 2 years. But if we're at the sweet spot, we don't need to necessarily make a change just to make a change.
But now it's actually probably going to happen. According to Ann Charpentier, who is the sales and marketing director at the Montana Lottery, who administered the presentation at the commission meeting about Mega Millions and the changes coming its way, she said that this is the, quote, direction that they've decided to go in. They, as in referring to the Mega Millions game or the consortium.
And, they've done a significant amount of research. They've done, they've been researching this for a couple of years now, especially the $5 price point. This is the direction that they've decided to go.
The first thing that a lot of people are going to say when they hear about this change is, I'm out. I'm not going to be able to play this game. It's way out of my price budget. I can't afford to spend that much on lottery tickets every single week, especially if there are multiple drawings a week. Keep in mind, they didn't announce anything about adding a drawing. There will still probably be 2 drawings, but a lot of people are probably going to stop playing because of it, and that's something that the Montana Lottery said they expected to see. Ann Charpentier said that whenever they do introduce a price increase for a game, they have seen in the past 35%, about that range of people, leave the game, but it's generally made up for the funds that they will receive for the people who will commit those extra dollars to play. So it kind of is balanced out in a way, and I can't imagine they wouldn't do a price increase if it weren't giving them more profits. So we have to imagine that even though people are leaving the game, they might in fact be making more money from this price increase. So moving on, there are a few other changes that are definitely coming to the game's way, along with the price increase, that might still convince people to stay and continue to play. One of those is increased odds at winning the overall jackpot. Currently, the odds at winning the Mega Millions jackpot are 1 in 302 million, but those odds are going to get better at 1 in 278.369 million. There is currently a number matrix of 1 to 70 for the regular white ball numbers, and then numbers 1 through 25 for the gold mega ball number. So although nobody in the meeting specifically confirmed the exact number matrix for the regular white ball numbers and the gold ball numbers, we estimated that based on the odds they presented, that would have to mean no change to the regular white ball numbers, so it would still stay the same at 1 through 70, but there would probably be a change to bring down the gold bond numbers from 1 through 25 to 1 through 23. Although Powerball has not made any announcements about changing their own ticket price, they're still staying the same at $2 per drawing for 3 drawings a week. If you kind of compare the odds, it is in fact better than Powerball. So Powerball is currently 1 in 292. Compare that with Mega Millions' new 1 in 278.36. The odds of winning any prize in Mega Millions will also slightly improve. Right now it's 1 in 24 chance of winning any prize, and that will increase to 1 in 22.15. Another change that we might expect to see from these changes being made to the game is that we might be seeing higher jackpots more frequently. I know in a previous video a long time ago I talked about how we might be getting spoiled with these huge jackpots. You know, what used to be a huge deal about a jackpot reaching maybe 300 million or maybe 600 million, it used to be a humongous deal in the past, and now it seems like nobody really bats an eye or even gets into the game until it's well beyond that, when the jackpots do start reaching the billion-dollar amounts. So the lotteries project that this will mean that the average jackpot hit is projected to be at well over 600 million versus over 300 million by raising these ticket prices. And that's not all. Some people might like this upcoming change and some people might not like this. But you know how there's different features you can add onto your tickets? For Powerball, there's the double play, which allows you to play your numbers in a separate drawing after the actual drawing occurs. I know a lot of people will know the Megaplier feature for Mega Millions, which is basically a multiplier feature. So whenever a multiplier or the Megaplier is drawn with the Mega Millions drawing, sometimes it can multiply your non-jackpot winnings by that amount that is drawn. So if you spend the extra dollar and let's say you get the 5x multiplier and you win, let's say, a $2 prize, well, you just 5x'd your $2 prize and won $10 instead. Some people like to do this to maximize the amount that they're going to win because they know that winning the jackpot is insanely hard to do, so you might as well maximize your non-jackpot winnings. Some people just like to go for the jackpot and just like to spend purely for that humongous pot of cash. So now that Megaplier feature is going to automatically be included in every single play you buy. It's no longer an option, it's now going to be included, and with the way that they're talking about it, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a separate drawing that occurs for the Megaplier option. Now, it's going to be automatically printed on your ticket. So if you've heard of a game called Cash Pop, that's kind of the same idea. So a random multiplier number will be assigned to every play on your ticket, so anywhere between 1 to 2, maybe 5 and 10, so you can win up to 10 times your non-jackpot prize. That being said, one of the huge draws for this change that they're probably going to market to players is that the largest non-jackpot prize that you'd be able to win would be 10 million. Since the second tier prize is going to remain at 1 million, that means that the highest prize that you'll be able to win is 10 million if you happen to match 5 numbers but not the Mega Ball, and win the second tier prize with a 10x multiplier randomly printed on your ticket. So that's going to be something that you might see lotteries heavily marketing towards the players. One thing we want to make super ultra clear is that although all of this information came directly from the Mega Millions Consortium to the Montana Lottery Commission, this is indeed something that they are ready to look at and approve. This has not been completely approved yet. It was not officially announced by the Mega Millions Consortium, so it doesn't have that official stamp of approval on it yet, but you know, it's probably going to happen, but we just want to make it totally clear that this is not something that we have officially confirmed. We are still looking for a second source on this, but it's very likely that any of the participating states in Mega Millions are going to be quiet about it until the official consortium makes its announcement. One interesting thing to note is a statistic that they quoted during the meeting. They said that 45%, maybe even at least 55% of players who do buy Mega Millions tickets already add the Megaplier option to their ticket. So at least in Montana, locally, they do see a lot of people who like to maximize their non-jackpot winnings, and they do have a high participation rate for the Megaplier feature in that state. And one of the biggest changes that players have been dying to see, we have been hearing about it for years now since the pandemic, is the starting jackpot amount. So during the pandemic or around that time, to compensate for sales, the lotteries lowered the starting jackpot amount from 40 million for both games down to 20 million. And now that starting jackpot will increase back up to 50 million. So for those who don't know, just a quick refresh, whenever the jackpot is won, That ends the current jackpot cycle, and let's say someone wins 200 million, that jackpot gets reset back to a starting amount at 50 million, at which the new jackpot cycle starts again, and it slowly builds up and up and up until someone else wins it again. So that amount will be 50 million. And the last change, which is really just a minor change, is that the Mega Millions game is going to expect to see a bit of a brand overhaul. It's going to have some new graphics, a new logo. It's going to get a bit of a refresh. And then, of course, we're going to get some new play slips because now with the Megaplier feature no longer being optional, now it's going to be automatic. There's really no need to include it as an option on the play slip. So it's going to get a little bit of a touch-up. Okay, so it just goes to show you how quickly things can change and how malleable the situation is. So right after we stopped recording this video, we actually did get a call back from Ann Charpentier, the sales and marketing director from the Montana Lottery, who is super sweet, by the way. And she did communicate to us that those changes outlined in the commission meeting are not the final changes. While we can't say exactly what about the changes are incorrect, we do know that there is something about the prize structure that was presented incorrectly, or that they had received the information and were presenting old data from the Mega Millions consortium. She did tell me that those corrections will be made clear in the upcoming commission meeting that will be held in September for Montana. Either way, this is a very rapidly changing, and it seems to be very fluid based on how quickly things have changed in the past couple days and how much information is really coming to light so quickly. Maybe the Montana Lottery, at least for the foreseeable future, is going to be the only state lottery that brings these changes to light, or maybe we'll see a couple other commission meetings where some other states talk about these upcoming changes as well. But it does remain to be seen, and of course, just like we said before, these changes have not had their official stamp of approval, and I'm really glad I said that earlier because now, as we know, there are still some moving parts to the puzzle. But yeah, huge shout out to the Montana Lottery for bringing this to light. It's a really exciting topic to talk about, and I'm sure a lot of players are really going to be anticipating what these changes are finally going to entail. Anyway, those are all the changes that you can expect so far. That's everything that we know of so far that was presented in that meeting. We are going to be staying on top of these changes, so if anything does come up, definitely check out Lottery Post, because now that this is news, we are going to be on top of it. We want to make sure that we can present with you with the most accurate, up-to-date information about these huge game changes as much as possible. And if anything comes our way, we want to get it to you. So be sure to stay up to date at lotterypost.com. You can download an app on your phone. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out, or helps our channel out, and it also helps get our videos and information out in front of more players just like you. And if you've been watching up to this point, thank you, you're amazing. And you might have been wondering, where have you been all this time? And while we did take a little hiatus, we did take a big break, we're very happy to be back. We're still kind of figuring out this routine schedule. Things are kind of up in the air. That'll be a tale for another time. But anyway, it's fantastic to be back. And from all of us at Lottery Post, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.